One man spent thousands of years searching for the person he loved, but when they finally met again, the other remembered nothing. One of them still said, "I love you." The other simply replied, "I am already engaged." Just one moment later, both of their fates began to change in ways neither of them could have imagined. And it all began on the day a new employee, named Yurong, joined Sales Department 4. Sales Department 4 was known across the company, but not for its performance. It was the one department where more employees wanted to leave than stay. Even so, manager Xie Yu calmly signed the transfer request for the department's top performer. Guan could only hold his head in despair, worrying about the future of the entire department. But to Xie Yu, forcing someone to stay was worse than letting them choose their own path. He only had one piece of advice: do your job, but do not burn yourself out. That laid-back attitude made Xie Yu the most unusual manager in the company. He was famous for his good looks, yet his department always ranked last in sales. Just when everyone thought today would be no different from any other, Sales Department 4 welcomed a new hire. His name was Yurong. The moment he saw Xie Yu, he could barely take his eyes off him. Xie Yu paused for only a moment before calmly asking Guan to help the new hire settle in. To him, Yurong was simply another employee who had just joined the company. But to Yurong, the man standing before him was the one he would spent countless lifetimes searching for. At lunchtime, Yurong quietly asked where Xie Yu was. Guan laughed and said the manager always headed to the rooftop alone during lunch. Hearing that, Yurong immediately rushed upstairs. He believed that if he returned to his true form, Xie Yu would recover all of his memories. For thousands of years, Yurong had never given up on his promise to find the one he loved. No matter how many times Xie Yu was reborn, Yurong always found him again, and this time would be no different. But as soon as he reached the rooftop, Yurong saw Xie Yu standing right at the edge. The sight made him panic as he rushed forward. Without thinking, Yurong threw his arms around Xie Yu and pulled both of them away from the edge. They stumbled backward and fell onto the rooftop, ending up lying inches apart. Yurong could not help feeling flustered by how close they were. Xie Yu simply stared in confusion at the stranger who had suddenly appeared. He did not recognize him at all. The realization left Yurong stunned. If Xie Yu's memories still had not returned, there was only one way left to be sure. Yurong slowly leaned closer to Xie Yu, and the moment their lips met, everything began to change. The kiss ended, and Yurong waited anxiously for a miracle to happen. But Xie Yu only stared at him in confusion, as if he had just awakened from a very long dream. He still remembered Yurong as the new hire, but nothing more. With no other choice, Yurong decided to reveal the secret he had kept hidden for thousands of years. He was not human. He was a witch from the Yimo Continent, a world where witches existed, and Yurong was one of the rare few born as a man. But every explanation only left Xie Yu even more confused. He even wondered if the company had accidentally hired someone who was a little too immersed in a fantasy world. Yurong fell silent. The person he had searched for through countless lifetimes truly did not remember him anymore. Even so, he refused to give up. Yurong carefully took out an egg he had treasured for countless years. According to him, it was Li Yi, a life created by the magic they had once shared. To Yurong, it was the most precious memory he had left. But to Xie Yu, it looked like nothing more than a strange toy. The more Yurong tried to explain, the more unbelievable the whole story sounded to Xie Yu. In the end, Xie Yu could only refuse to continue the conversation. He told Yurong to head back first, while he reported the situation to human resources. Yurong quietly held the egg in his arms, gently comforting Li Yi, as if soothing a beloved family member. At that very moment, Xie Yu suddenly stopped in his tracks, but he still chose to walk away, leaving Yurong standing alone on the rooftop. As the rain began to fall, the journey to awaken Xie Yu's lost memories had only just begun. The rain continued to pour as Yurong stood there in silence, wondering why Xie Yu had forgotten the promise they once made. His memories drifted back to many years ago. Back then, a young boy named Xie Yu would wait outside a small wooden house just to see Acilio. Every time Acilio appeared, the boy's face lit up with joy. Even though he always claimed he did not know how to take care of children, Yurong quietly brought Xie Yu food and other daily necessities. And so, the two of them stayed by each other's side, day after day. Then one rainy day, Xie Yu ran up to Acilio with a bright smile. He promised that no matter what happened, he would never forget the one who had saved him. But now, everything was completely different. Xie Yu could not remember a single thing about their shared past. Yurong could only hold Li Yi's egg tightly, trying to comfort himself. He tried using magic to stop the rain, just as he had done in the past, but his magic had grown weaker, and his spell no longer responded. Just as Yurong was beginning to lose hope, someone suddenly appeared behind him. It was Xie Yu. Without a word, he held an umbrella over Yurong and calmly told him to come along. To Xie Yu, this unusual coworker seemed far more fragile than he had first imagined. Even though he did not believe in stories about reincarnation or witches, he could not bring himself to leave Yurong alone in the rain. The two of them quietly walked together, beneath the same umbrella. Most of Xie Yu's shoulder was soaked by the rain, but he did not seem to mind at all. Before coming back, Human Resources had called to explain that Mu Yurong was simply a recent college graduate, with a rather unusual personality. So instead of judging him too quickly, Xie Yu decided to give him another chance. Even so, an awkward silence lingered between them. After a long pause, Xie Yu suddenly asked, "Where's your egg?" Mu Yurong smiled at once, while Xie Yu quickly changed the subject. He simply reminded Mu Yurong not to bring toys to work again before leading him off to get a towel. Perhaps even Xie Yu did not realize it, but the distance between them had already begun to shrink. When the two of them returned to the office completely drenched, everyone in Sales Department 4 could only stand there in stunned silence. When Xie Yu and Mu Yurong returned to the office completely soaked, everyone in Sales Department 4 immediately started imagining all kinds of scenarios. Only Guan Guan could barely hide the excitement on his face. As for Xie Yu, he acted as if nothing had happened, but the moment he glanced at the calendar on his desk, his expression suddenly changed. Today was the one day he always tried to avoid. After changing into dry clothes, Mu Yurong accidentally noticed a scar on Xie Yu's back. Something about that scar felt strangely familiar. Xie Yu did not seem to notice. Instead, he casually grabbed a towel and dried Mu Yurong's hair. He even joked that, if Mu Yurong really was a witch, he should at least be able to dry himself with magic. Mu Yurong remained silent, quietly savoring the familiar warmth of Xie Yu's hand. Then Xie Yu suddenly asked, "So, where's your magic wand?" Mu Yurong admitted that he had lost it a long time ago. The atmosphere gradually became more relaxed, until Xie Yu brought up what had happened on the rooftop. He asked Mu Yurong directly if that kiss meant he had feelings for him. Mu Yurong calmly shook his head, because to him, it was not simply a crush, it was a love that had endured through countless lifetimes. The answer left Xie Yu completely speechless. He tried to stay calm, but deep down, something had already begun to waver. Hoping to end the conversation, Xie Yu took out a small box that he always carried with him. He explained that he was already bound by an engagement, so he could not return anyone else's feelings. The irony was that Xie Yu had never even met the person he was supposedly engaged to. That engagement had become a shield, keeping him away from any romantic complications. Mu Yurong quietly looked at the small box, already realizing he would have to overcome yet another obstacle, and no one knew whether that mysterious engagement would become the barrier separating them, or the key to unlocking Xie Yu's lost memories. Just one sentence from Xie Yu, "I am already engaged," left Mu Yurong completely stunned. He could not believe that the person who had once promised to stay by his side forever was now engaged to someone else. The memories carried Mu Yurong back to the Yimo Continent. It was the place where the two of them first met. According to the traditions of that land, whoever picked an immortal flower and wove it into a wreath by hand had chosen the other person as their lifelong partner. Back then, Xie Yu had personally placed that flower wreath on Azilio's head. No vows or grand ceremony were needed. It was the most sacred confession of love on the Yimo Continent. Later, the two of them used magic to transform the flower wreath into a pair of rings so they could always carry them. No matter how many wars or separations they endured, Xie Yu had never taken off his ring. Mu Yurong suddenly snapped back to reality. Through countless lifetimes, he had searched for Xie Yu again and again, but this time everything seemed different. Xie Yu had not just lost his memories. A mysterious engagement had also appeared. That made Mu Yurong believe an even greater secret was hiding beneath the surface. Refusing to give up, he decided to ask Guan Guan for answers. The first thing Mu Yurong asked about was Xie Yu's ring. Guan Guan confirmed that everyone in the company had heard the rumors about Xie Yu's engagement ring, but strangely enough, no one had ever actually seen Xie Yu wear it. Most of the time, the ring simply stayed inside a small box in his desk drawer. The more Mu Yurong heard, the more he realized the story was not as simple as it seemed. Guan Guan eagerly went on to share every rumor he had heard about Xie Yu's background and mysterious engagement. Some people believed it was nothing more than an excuse to turn down admirers. Others insisted that Xie Yu had been arranged to marry into a powerful family. The conflicting rumors only made the mystery even harder to unravel. But Mu Yurong still trusted his instincts. If Xie Yu truly treasured that engagement, he would never treat the ring so casually. After thanking Guan Guan for the valuable clues, Mu Yurong decided to keep investigating until he uncovered the truth. And somewhere behind that mysterious engagement, the truth about Xie Yu's lost memories was slowly beginning to surface. Mu Yurong waited thousands of years to find Xie Yu again, only to hear that he was already engaged. What do you think? Is Xie Yu's engagement real, or is it just another secret he is hiding? Share your theory in the comments below. If you enjoy fantasy BL stories like this one, do not forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next chapter.